Great. Hi mate, are you filming these protesters? Oh okay, are you a YouTuber? What, sorry? Media company. Media company, which one? Press Association. Press Association, so who are you recording it for? Okay, cool.
Excuse me, come here. Are you coming around this side? Thank you. They're going to march around, so if you can make the way over. Yeah, come this way. Come this way. It's all right. Come this way. Come this way. They have counter views to the Pro-Palestine parade. Because they're not holding Israel flags, banners and so on. Not anyone aware, but it's just stood next to this Gurbani fella. Some of them sat down to his cap, front cap. Yeah. There's a few of them up there towards the green area, carrying JD bags as well.
Islamic regime, terrorist regime, Islamic regime, terrorist regime, Islamic regime, terrorist regime, Islamic regime, terrorist regime, Islamic regime, terrorist regime, Islamic regime, terrorist regime. Bak bak Hamani, bak bak Hamani, bak bak Hamani, bak bak Hamani, bak bak Hamani. Iran hates you. Iran hates you. Shame on you. Iran hates you. Iran hates you. Shame on you. Shame on you. İran da taraftar attı Hamine'yi Bağdat'ta. Bağdat'ta Hamine'yi. Iran hates you. İran asımı taraftarı. Bahçeli Filistin'e bu korku kuğuda. Bahçeli Filistin'e bu korku kuğuda. Iran hates you. Iran hates you. Bak bak Hamani, useful idiot. Bak bak Hamani, useful idiot. Bak bak Hamani, useful idiot. Bak bak Hamani. No nukes for bullets. No nukes for bullets. No nukes for bullets. No nukes for bullets. No nukes for bullets. No nukes for bullets. No nukes for bullets. No nukes for bullets. No nukes for bullets. No nukes for bullets. You couldn't dress like that under the regime.
great sisters and brothers. My name is Shabir, I'm an officer of the Stop the War Coalition. And I want to salute each and every one of you for marching today. Make some noise! Today we are marching and we are shouting for the people who are being bombed by Western imperialism in Palestine, in Iran, in Lebanon, in Yemen. I want you to shout with your loudest voices when I say stop bombing Gaza. I want you to say stop bombing Iran. Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Iran! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Iran! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Iran! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Iran! Now I want to introduce our next speaker. We know that Israel has killed more journalists in Gaza than in any conflict we have ever seen. And I'm proud to introduce our next speaker, who's a Palestinian journalist from Gaza Families, which is an organization made up of people who have family members in Gaza and who are suffering the daily bombardment, the shooting, the starvation, the genocide and ethnic cleansing. Please make some noise for Ibrahim Khadra!
620 days ago, my cousin was born in Gaza. A baby girl, full of hope and potential, yet born into a world where bombs are the first sounds she hears, and her future is defined by the destruction around her. She has now nothing but the roar of airstrikes, the chaos of fleeing, the pain of loss. For her, these 622 days are the only life she knows. In her eyes, a world of innocence, but in her reality, a world of suffering and survival. And this, in many ways, is the story of Gaza, a place where children grow up not knowing what it means to live without fear, where families are torn apart, and where every day is a fight to stay alive. For my cousin, those 622 days represent the cost of a life spent in the shadow of war. 622 days of bombs raining down on Gaza people, of hospital bombed, of ambulances targeted. 622 days where saving a life can cost you your own. 622 days of families losing their homes, their loved ones. 622 days of hunger, thirst, of sickness, with no medicine, no hospitals left standing. 622 days of children growing up knowing nothing but genocidal war. 622 days of world looking away. Broken promises and complicity. 622 days of world watching in silence. 622 days of false promises of aid that comes with bombs. 622 days of government shaking hands with the killers and war criminals. 622 days of live stream genocide, and still they say both sides. 622 days of complicity from those who could have stopped this but choose not to. 622 days Gaza has been screaming, but the world has muted them. My last message as a Palestinian from Gaza to the media: stop lying. To the politicians: stop arming genocide. To the world: we will never forget. Thank you.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Our next speaker is one of the most outspoken voices in Parliament against Israel's genocide in Gaza. She's the Member of Parliament for Poplar and Limehouse, please give the warmest welcome to Oksana Begum MP.
Over 300 dead in aid lines, children shot for bread, hospitals put under siege, refugee camps carpet bombed, entire towns wiped out, and the West Bank is an open-air prison, sealed, starved, raided. And since Israel's bombing of Iran, the violence in Gaza and the West Bank has only escalated. Impunity is the word of the moment. Israel continues to intensify its destruction of Palestinians and their way of life with total impunity. Israel strikes on Iran, on Yemen, on Lebanon, and on Syria are reckless and dangerous for everyone. We so often see grand speeches from the UK political establishment about the rules-based order. But when the ICJ accuses the UK's ally, Israel, of genocide, when the UN condemns war crimes, when international law is trampled on again and again, when human rights are obliterated, the same UK political establishment looks the other way. Horrific human suffering is explained away, covered up and obscured. And when that fails, they turn to censorship and repression. Indeed, the fourth anti-protest bill in 4 years has been in Parliament this week. I have and will always defend the right to protest. I refuse to be silent about the undeniable truth that Palestinians are not just starving, they are being starved. They are not just dying, they are being exterminated by the UK's ally, using UK-made weapons. Not in our name! Not in our name! Stop the UK's complicity! Stop the UK's arms trade! Sanction the killers and uphold human rights for every single person! End the oppression now! End the oppression of the Palestinian people and recognise their right to self-determination. Solidarity!
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Our next speaker is the SNP member for the Scottish Parliament. He's also the previous First Minister of Scotland. So please give a very warm welcome to Hamza Yousaf.
Friends, they do say that the sun shines on the righteous, and they couldn't be any more righteous than the hundreds of thousands of you. You know, over 2 decades ago, 1.5 million of us, we marched in this city as those who were hell-bent on war and government were on the very verge of sending troops to Iraq. 22 years on, and we gather here once more as the dogs of war once again try to sell us lies, this time about an imminent attack from Iran, just as they did when they lied to us about the weapons of mass destruction they told us Saddam Hussein had. So we stand here and we say to Keir Starmer today what we said to Tony Blair in 2003, not in our name, don't you dare send our sons and daughters on a frivolous war for your political gain. about Israel's illegal strikes against Iran, let me make one plea to you today. Do not stop speaking about Gaza, because they're desperate to distract you. They're desperate to deflect, and they'll try every dirty trick in the book to try to get you stop talking about this genocide. They'll call you a supporter of Hamas. They'll say you're an anti-Semite. Let me be clear. Calling for the end of the mass slaughter of children does not make you an anti-Semite. Calling for an end to the starvation of 2 million people does not make you an anti-Semite. Calling for the end of a genocide does not make you an anti-Semite. It simply makes you a human being. You know, it was 60 years ago that Malcolm X said, if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppression. As true now as it was 60 years ago. So while we stand a stone's throw from Downing Street, let's make it clear to the Prime Minister, you can try and intimidate us with your anti-terror laws by abusing them, but you'll never silence us as we speak out against the genocide that you're supporting. Protesters that are trying to stop terrorists, the ones that are literally killing children, they are the terrorists. The ones bombing hospitals, they are the terrorists. The one who's wanted by the ICC for war crimes, he is the one committing terror. So friends, let me end by saying continue to speak out. Let history show that millions of decent people around the world, including in this city, stood in defiance against tyranny. And let's say it loudly, let's say clearly to Keir Starmer, end your complicity. Stop selling arms to Israel. Stop supporting a genocide. Sanction Israel. Recognize the Palestinian state. And for God's sake, before he can kill any more innocent people, get Netanyahu in the Hague, get him in a jail cell where he can run for the rest of his life.
Before a quick warning about the heat. We have just received word that the back of the demonstration is only just now reaching Holborn. Thousands of supporters of the Palestinian cause are filling the Strand from here all the way back to Holborn. And while we do that, please make sure that you are keeping yourself and those around you safe in the heat. Make sure that you've got access to water. Make sure that if there's any issues whatsoever, you find the steward and let them know so that they can help you. Thank you. Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Our next speaker is the Member of Parliament for Coventry South, who has recently been holding this government to account for their continued sale of arms to Israel. Please give a warm welcome to Zara Sultana MP.
under siege, civilians gunned down in bread queues, mercenaries targeting the hungry, while Western governments like ours shield the killers and bankroll the slaughter. Let's be absolutely clear, this isn't complicated, it's not a conflict, it's not self-defense, it is colonization, it is domination, it is genocide. Of Palestinian land, Palestinian life and Palestinian dignity, a decades-long project of ethnic cleansing carried out with impunity. And who enables it? Our government. While the ICJ, shame on them! While the ICJ investigates Israel for genocide and the ICC issues arrest warrants for its leaders, our government keeps the arms flowing. Keir Starmer, shame on you! David Lammy, shame on you! Keir Starmer, shame on you! Shame on you! This government sanctions two far-right extremist Israeli ministers while continuing to license the bombs that flatten hospitals and schools. They talk about peace while marching in lockstep with the US and its brutal imperialist foreign policy. Let's not pretend otherwise. The UK backs Israel unconditionally because Washington does. And behind that lies a racist, cruel calculus that some lives matter more than others. This is anti-Palestinian racism, and we see it in every dehumanizing headline. We saw it in Keir Starmer's LBC interview when he said Israel had the right to cut off water and electricity. Shame on you! We see it in his refusal to call this genocide what it is. We see it in how the government rolled out the red carpet for Gideon Saar, and we see it in the cynical U-turning on recognising a Palestinian state as if Palestinian freedom is some bargaining chip. And now, if Gaza and the horrors we're witnessing weren't enough, they are beating the war drums with Iran, using the same script we saw in 2003. Manufactured threats, Western-backed escalations dressed up as defence. Haven't we learnt anything? Millions marched against the war in Iraq, and they were right. That war brought death, devastation, and decades of devastation across the region. Instead of heeding that lesson, our leaders want to repeat it, this time with even higher stakes. They are willing to risk another regional war, not to protect peace, but to protect power. And also this week, before I finish, this week, in a moment of staggering hypocrisy, many of the same voices gathered at St. Paul's Cathedral to mark 30 years since the genocide in Srebrenica. They lit candles, they made speeches, they said, never again. But what does never again mean when they are silent, if not complicit now, when they ignore Gaza, when they honour the victims of one genocide while enabling another? We are here to shatter silence. We are here to pull out that hypocrisy. We demand an immediate end to all arms sales to Israel and all trade with Israel. We demand real sanctions against the entire Israeli government and military opposers. We demand the expulsion of the Israeli ambassador and all diplomatic relations with the genocidal apartheid state of Israel. And we demand justice for Palestinians, not just in history books, but now in the burning present, because if never again is to mean anything, it must mean now. Thank you, and free Palestine!
Comrades, before I introduce our next speaker, I want you to make some noise for our BSO interpreters, for all of the students that have made this demonstration possible, for all of the tireless campaigning up and down the country to bring hundreds of thousands onto the streets today. And one of those tireless campaigners is my friend and comrade, who's the vice chair of the Stop the War Coalition. And you might have seen that he was violently arrested on the 18th of January. And on the 7th of July, him and the PSC director Ben Jamal are facing trial, which is a shameful attack on our right to protest. And if you're going to join us outside the City of London Magistrates Court on the 7th of July, I want you to make some noise! And please put your hands together for Chris Nynham!
Let us be absolutely clear. Unlike Britain and the US, which occupied Afghanistan and Iraq and bombed Libya, Syria and Yemen, Iran has invaded no other country since it became a state in 1935. Unlike Britain, the US, France and Israel, Iran has no nuclear weapons. Unlike Britain and the other Western powers, they have not spent the last 20 months enabling and defending a genocide. I am no supporter of the Iranian regime, but we will not let the war-crazed leaders of Israel and the Western world dress up their battle for domination in fine words about democracy, security or freedom. They are colluding in a genocide, and they are prepared to destroy another sovereign country in the simple pursuit of economic and geopolitical interest. But let's be clear about something else. The reason they are attacking our movement and dragging so many of us through the courts is that they are frightened. Yes. We will stand up to the attacks. We demand that they withdraw the threats to kneecap. We demand they withdraw the threats to Palestine action. And we demand that they drop all charges against people who have been protesting for peace and against the genocide. But they know, in their hearts, they know they are losing the argument, and they can see a gathering revolt. And they are concerned, they are worried, they are frightened that we might just win. This is about Palestine and it's about war. But they worry too that this is a movement that stands for a different kind of world, where every child is cherished, where no one is homeless, where no pensioner goes hungry, and where no money is wasted on weapons of war. And finally, I want to say this. You, the people who have made up this magnificent movement, you are not just protesters, you are organisers and leaders, every one of you. And you have to be. You have to be. Because we need to become a force with such reach and power in society that we can make sure their walls are unworkable and make certain that it is our vision of the future that prevails. Thank you very much.
We are all
Parliament, one of the co-organisers of today's demonstration. Please give a very warm welcome to Carol Turner.
For the last week, our media and our government might be focused on the battle between Israel and Iran, but we all know that hundreds of Palestinians continue to be killed every day in Israel's genocidal war on Gaza. It's a tribute to our movement and to everyone here today that millions of people continue to turn to the streets of Britain. Solidarity with everyone who marches and demands ceasefire on Gaza now. In the few minutes I have, I do want to address Israel's military offensive against Iran. No one here today will be surprised by Israel's nuclear hypocrisy or Trump's support for what Netanyahu is doing. Israel is an undeclared nuclear weapons state. Israel has refused to sign the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Israel does not allow the International Atomic Energy Agency to inspect its nuclear facilities. Netanyahu and Trump claim that Iran is a mere few months away from a bomb. 24 hours ago, the IAEA told the UN Security Council that there was no evidence Iran was developing nuclear weapons. What Rafael Grossi did say is that Iran's nuclear facilities have already suffered severe damage, and he warned that a strike on the Shia nuclear power plant could cause the reactor core to melt down. Think Chernobyl. Think of the untold damage that could be released across the Middle East. CND believes that the only way to settle the issues in the Middle East is to join the majority of the world's nations in signing a nuclear weapons-free treaty for the region. We say what's immediately needed is a ceasefire, an unconditional ceasefire, and serious discussions by our government, serious actions to stop the war that's being waged on Iran now. Thank you for listening.
Reported on this demonstration. He was last seen somewhere near the top of Whitehall. His name is Abdul Rahim, and he's 9 years old. If you see a young boy who seems like he might be alone, please bring him to the front and we can help reunite him with his mum. Thank you. Now, as many of you will know, across the country, brave individuals have been targeting arms factories who manufacture weapons for Israel. Among those are a group known as the Filton 18, who have been detained and investigated under bogus counter-terror powers for their anti-war activism and are currently being held on remand. Their hearing is taking place in less than 2 weeks, on June the 30th and July the 1st at Woolwich Crown Court in South London. They're asking for people to show their support outside the courthouse, so please do go along to Woolwich Crown Court on June the 30th and July the 1st if you are possibly able to show your support for the Filton 18. Speaker on today's demonstration is here representing the Muslim Association of Britain, one of the co-organisers of today's rally. Please give a warm welcome to Ragab al-Takriti.
Sisters, brothers, friends, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you all. When Dr. Mark Perlmutter, an American orthopedic surgeon, returned from Gaza, he said, "Gaza was the first time I held a baby's brain in my hand." Let that sit with you. Not a metaphor, not an exaggeration. A surgeon trained to help, a surgeon trained to heal, forced to cradle the consequences of a world that has decided Palestinian lives are disposable. That was over 10 months ago. How many Palestinians have since been buried without their bodies intact, with their body parts gathered in plastic bags? How many will never be known because they were burned beyond recognition? Of all the horrors this world has chosen to normalize in Gaza, perhaps the most unforgivable is the killing of Palestinians waiting for aid. That starvation is used as a weapon. That every grain of rice is a negotiation, every sip of water a risk. And still, the government finds new ways to say, but Israel has the right to defend itself. From what? From tents? From orphans? From the ghosts of the children that it's already killed? The cost of maintaining Israeli society, its comfort, its security, its illusion of normality is 100 to 150 Palestinian lives a day. This is not a side fact. This is a calculated state policy. The machinery of apartheid and settler colonialism require a constant sacrifice of life. And our governments have decided that Palestinian life is the most expendable currency. But even with everything Gaza has lost, the homes, the families, the limbs, the lives, there is something it has refused to give up: the ability to choose how to respond. Gaza has refused to break. Gaza has been resisting something wider, for something wider, an entire worldview that says some people get to live safely, freely, fully, and others don't. That some people's pain is real and others are statistics. This is a struggle against supremacy, against militarized cruelty, against the machinery of empire and impunity. And this struggle is expanding. The system that signs off bombing and flattening of hospitals in northern Gaza is the same system that seeks to criminalize protest in the UK. It is the same system that is deporting students in the US. It is the system that always has money and resources to fund wars, but tell us there is no budget for the most vulnerable in our society. Gaza has showed us that another world is not just necessary, it is possible. But it won't come through empty promises from the corridors of power. It will come through struggle. How we choose to respond is the power we hold. How we fight, how we resist, and how we build. We must build structures that outlive this moment. Institutions rooted not in empire, but in justice. And movements that refuse to stop until every single system that enabled this genocide is dismantled, exposed, and replaced. We fight until Gaza lives and until Palestinians from the river to the sea live freely and dignity. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
In our thousands, in our millions,
We are all Palestinians!
in our thousands, in our millions,
We are all Palestinians!
in our thousands, in our millions,
We are all Palestinians!
in our thousands, in our millions.
We are all Palestinians!
Now our next speaker is from another one of the organizations that have helped to make today's demonstration and every demonstration for the last 20 months possible. He's from the Palestinian Forum in Britain. Please make some noise for Abdul Rahman Tamimi.
Assalamu alaikum. Just before we start, quick exercise. From low to high. What do we want? Justice. Justice. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. I want everyone to hear it. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Have we not had enough? Have we not had enough of the killing? The lying? The silence? They lied to us about Iraq. They lied to us about Gaza. And now they dare lie to us about Iran. Same lies, same agenda, same blood-soaked arrogance. But I need to remind you, in this period of anxiety, that Gaza is still being annihilated. This is not a war. This is not a conflict. This is a genocide. They are bombing homes, schools, and even aid distribution centers. They starve the people, and then they bomb the food. This is barbarism. The problem is, they get away with it. A Zionist entity that bombs whichever place that comes to their mind. Israel is the spoiled brat of the West, and no one has the guts to stop them. This is not defense. This is impunity. Zionism is not safety, and it's not stability. Zionism is destruction. It is colonialism. It is apartheid. But do not despair. Do not be disheartened. We will see the borders, the walls, the fences go down. The Israeli flag will go down. And the Palestinian flag will go up. And I promise you, we will eat the grapes of Hebron. We will taste the oranges of Jaffa. We will harvest the olives of Jenin. And we will pray, inshallah, Muslims, Christians, Jews, in Jerusalem, a free, liberated capital of Palestine.
demanding that the government take action to ensure that its members in the civil service are not being complicit in Israeli war crimes. So please give a very warm welcome to Fran Heathcote.
Friends, on the first day when Israel attacked Iran, they also slaughtered 150 civilians in Gaza on that same night. The settlement building in the West Bank, the slaughter in Gaza, the kidnapping of Palestinians and detentions in Israel carries on. Israel has been emboldened by the continued support that they receive from the British and American governments, the lack of meaningful sanctions, the lack of a full arms embargo. The UK government is complicit in the genocide in Gaza, and it is complicit in every death now being inflicted by Israel in Iran. As Israel attacks Iran, the question we have to ask ourselves is who is next? Israel has bombed Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and now Iran. How many countries have to be attacked? How many more innocent people have to die before our politicians act? If our government will not act, then we have to. We have to step up our protests, step up our campaigning, step up our call for boycott, for divestment, and for sanctions against Israel. We must encourage our friends, our family, our neighbours, our work colleagues to support the campaign too. My union, PCS, is proud to support the Palestinian Solidarity Campaign and proud to be on this march today for peace, for humanity and against genocide. At our annual conference last month, our members reaffirmed their commitment to the Palestinian people in their struggle to achieve profoundly moving to see that unwavering solidarity from our delegates with Palestinians and their cause for freedom. And it is empowering to see so many people here today to say free Palestine, end the occupation, no war on Iran. Friends, these are dark days for humanity, but we will keep fighting for peace, for justice and for freedom for Palestine. Solidarity.
No, it is. No, it's receiving way.
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! When I say stop bombing Gaza, you say stop bombing Iran! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Iran! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Iran! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Iran! Our next speaker is the General Secretary of the TSSA Union, representing 18,000 members in the transport and travel industries. Please make some noise for Maryam Islamdouz.
Greetings. I send solidarity to the people of Palestine and Iran from Britain and Ireland's transport workers. My trade union will not waver in our support for the victims of Israel's wars and crimes and genocide. I am an Iranian woman. We Iranians are all in immense pain that Israel has turned its war crimes on us. It is no comfort to know that part of the reason for Israel's criminal war on us is to distract from their genocide on Gazans. The Iranian people will not surrender. We will not be bowed. Tehran, the city of my birth, is under daily attack. Our beautiful concrete city of poets and traders and streams and pomegranate trees is burning because the hatred which Israel holds for the Iranian spirit of independence. The fantasies of Israeli propaganda will not come true. Iranians will not rise up against ourselves while foreign missiles rain on us. Iranians have as you murder our children, we will pull together. Israel, the Middle East's only nuclear state, the haven of war criminals, is raining fire on the concepts of diplomacy, international law, and non-proliferation. We need a nuclear-free Middle East, but non-proliferation has been dealt a swift and fatal blow. Iran has not been attacked because they fear it might get nuclear weapons. Iran has been attacked because they know it doesn't have nuclear weapons. In these conditions, can there be any countries that are now not considering whether to weaponize? International diplomacy has been dealt a swift and fatal blow. How can anyone trust negotiations with Western powers? Iran was bombed in the midst of negotiations which were on the cusp of a new nuclear deal. International law has been dealt a swift and fatal blow. Israel has committed the primary international crime, an unprovoked war of aggression. But instead of the West beating down on Netanyahu's door to arrest him, we have the German Chancellor praising him for doing the West's dirty work. The criminals in Israel must be stopped. We see clearly that their crimes will only end when every one of their neighbours is independent and secure and strong. Palestine must be free, secure and strong. Iran must be free, secure and strong. Long live Iran, long live Palestine.
Who are the first party in the UK to declare Israel's actions in Gaza undeniably constitute a genocide. Please give a very warm welcome to Zach Polanski from the Green Party.
Thank you. Friends, some people say, why are you still gathering? Why are you still marching? Let's tell them. We are marching because we are saying the world will not look away. We will not be silent. And when this government is not just complicit, but active participants in a genocide, we are here to say, not in our name. When Israel launches an illegal war at Iran, the moral inconsistency of saying this is about nuclear weapons. Let's be specific. No one should have nuclear weapons. But why does Israel choose to have nuclear, choose not to sign treaties, and then be the moral arbitrators? Benjamin Netanyahu, Donald Trump, and Keir Starmer. Absolutely no way. I speak here as a politician. I speak here as a Londoner, but I speak here as a Jew. And I know there are many Jewish people in the crowd today. We know in our history, when we say never again, that is not for one group of people. That is not for some people. Never again for anybody. And finally, I want to look to the future. We know we cannot repeat history. We know in 2003, millions of us marched and we were ignored by a Labour government. They need to learn from history, because we are ready to rise. We are organising, workers are organising, communities are organising, members of the Green Party and many people are organising. We will stand together. We stand for peace. We stand for justice. We say no more war. Thank you. Solidarity. Thank you.
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Our next speaker is a British Iraqi trauma surgeon who has performed over 300 complex surgeries and treated 1,200 patients in Gaza during Israel's genocide. Please give a very warm welcome to Dr. Mohammed Tahir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Mohammed Tahir. I spent 3 missions and 7 months inside Gaza, and I only left after the so-called ceasefire, falsely reassured that we would be able to rebuild. But like many of you, I was deceived. Since then, I've tried to return, but I've been barred and I've been threatened. And like you, I am angry. We are all very angry. We are angry because we have seen tens and thousands of our children burned, bombed, beheaded and dismembered. We are angry because we have seen and watched our women, our daughters and our mothers and our sisters starved and shattered, screaming in pain and heartbreak as they are slaughtered without mercy. We are angry because we have seen our men, our brothers, our fathers shunned, shot, sniped and stripped of their dignity because they seek food for their families. We have watched this day after day and night after night with no end in sight. They have killed hundreds of thousands of people and nobody is stopping this. I was there when hospitals were bombed, when schools were destroyed, when livelihoods were wrecked. And since they have not left a building unscathed, we are burning with rage because this world's morality has collapsed and its transparent hypocrisy is being force-fed down our gullets. We are sick to our very core because this Zionist regime acts with an impunity never seen before and backed by the very governments that claim to defend human rights. I once asked Angela Rayner, I asked her to do something, and she looked me in the eye and she said that there are dark forces at play. And she was right. The world is turning dark. Bush and Blair might become Trump and Starmer, and are fueling the imperialist, Zionist machine with your silence, with your money and your blood. And we say, enough. We demand justice for Gaza, for the West Bank, for Lebanon, for Yemen, for Iran, for every soul who has suffered under the weight of occupation and imperialism. We demand that Britain take responsibility for the chaos and the havoc that it once created. This rage, this pain in your hearts, this fire, let it grow. Do not think that coming to this protest is enough. You have not discharged your duty. Take it to your MPs, shake the system, demand justice, demand that Netanyahu and every war criminal face trial at The Hague. We demand that they stop the genocide in Gaza, that they stop the war in Iran. We will not kneel. We will not be silent. We will not surrender. We will be united. We choose the path of truth. Whatever the cost, even if that costs us our lives. Shukran jazeelan. Wassalamu alaikum.
When
It uses aid as a killing trap, guns people down, starving, exhausted, scrambling for some flour. It bombs Syria, it invades Lebanon, it bombs Yemen, it bombs Iran. Is this a stage or an attack dog? A wild, unrestrained beast unleashed on the region to bring it to its knees, to tear it apart, to clean, to pick its bones clean. The German Chancellor said it. Israel does our dirty work. No law, no limits, no shame. Because to them, the Middle East is not people. It's not history. It's not memory. It's oil. It's money. It's oil. Now Netanyahu dreams aloud of a new Middle East with its throne in Tel Aviv. And his fascist ministers dream of a greater Israel from the Nile to the Euphrates. After Iran, they've already named Pakistan. They circle Turkey. They dropped 80,000 tons of explosives on Gaza, 6 Hiroshimas. They wanted to terrify the world into submission. But they were very wrong, because Gaza became an inspiration. It became a symbol of defiance, a symbol of resilience, a testament. A witness to their hypocrisy, their boundless monstrosity. So today we say to the warmongers, enough of your lies, enough of your greed, enough is enough. We, the people of the world, Muslims, Jews, Christians, believers, non-believers, we say we don't
airstrikes. Sometimes when we speak about the numbers of civilians killed, we forget that they were someone's mother, someone's child, someone's baby, someone's best friend. They, like us, once made people laugh, made people annoyed, made people roll their eyes. Those children who were killed were once told off, given sweets and asked for another one, played in the park, cried when they didn't get their own way. They were important, special and loved. The survivors, many of them have missing limbs, and the lucky ones live, starving, playing in rubble, traumatized and living in fear. This is no world I want to be part of. This is no structure or system I can agree with, when human life is so devalued and so lost in greed and delusion. It is only on these marches I feel optimistic about humanity, because here there is heart, there is soul, and there are the people that I want to associate with. Until the genocide ends, this is where I will be. This is where you will be. And where I hope more and more people will be, relentlessly campaigning for our government to stop its complicity with Israel and end this genocide. Those who facilitate these crimes against humanity need to be made accountable, not those of us who are compassionate and humane enough to stand against it. So when people say to me that I might lose money and work by speaking out at these marches, I say, but I cannot agree with the illegal genocide of a people, the majority of whom are children. When people say, I don't understand the politics, I say you don't need to understand the politics to know you don't agree with the illegal genocide of a people who are mainly children. When people say it's not my war to fight, I say, but I can't agree with the illegal genocide of a people who are mainly children. And when people tell me that I should stick to music and stay away from politics, what do I say? I say, but I can't agree with the illegal genocide of a people who are mainly children. I hope that more people will join me and our voices will get louder. Because, and you guys know, in our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians. In our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians. I love you. Thank you for being here.
Once again, give it up for Paloma Faye! In our thousands, in our millions! We are all Palestinians! In our thousands, in our millions! We are all Palestinians! In our thousands, in our millions! We are all Palestinians! In our thousands, in our millions! We are all Palestinians! Our next speaker is a former Associate Fellow at the Middle East and North Africa Programme at Chatham House. She's also the head of the Egyptian Revolutionary Council. Please give a very warm welcome to Dr. Maha Azam.
What more can I say after the last speaker? I said, what more can I say after the last speaker? I really salute her. I salute her with all my heart. And everyone here today. Let me start by saying to you in the little time I have, that Gaza is the hungriest place on earth. And those are not my words, those are the words of one of the spokespersons for the United Nations Humanitarian Coordination Group. On a small strip of land, 360 kilometers square, it is the hungriest place on earth. 100% of its people face famine. because governments of the world are complicit in Zionist aggression and genocide. Let us remember that the bombs that fell on Gaza up till last year are equal to those that fell on Dresden and Hamburg and London during World War II. Shame! Shame on the world! Shame on all those who arm Israel, including this country. Shame on the United States that provides it with bombs and so-called precision weapons. What precision? Precision to kill and maim children? 70% of those who have died in Gaza are women and children. The estimates of the medical journal, The Lancet, says that possibly 100,000 or more have been killed. Almost 8%, or just under 8% of the Gaza population, according to last year's census. If that is not genocide, I don't know what is. Therefore, the free people of the world have gathered. They gathered in the Great March to Gaza. They gather in the flotilla. They gathered in the initiative of Sumoon to North Africa. And salutations and all respect to them. We salute you from London. We salute you. And we must mention here that their efforts to be in Egypt were challenged and brutally squandered by the military regime of Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the complicit dictator of Egypt, the lackey of the Zionists. Let us remember those complicit are here in the UK, in the United States and in Europe, but also the leadership in Egypt is complicit in the killing and maiming of Palestinians in Gaza. Must hold their leadership accountable. The ICC must hold all those criminals accountable. Let us stand together in one struggle, the struggle for the liberation of Palestine. A liberation that means a liberation from an unjust world order. An unjust world order that threatens us all. As you stand today, you are part of a worldwide struggle against Zionism, against apartheid, and the freedom of humanity. Thank you very much.
Opposing Israel's illegal bombardment of Iran and the US threats of war. Please give a warm welcome to Samaya Zadeh.
I stand here as an Iranian who has been a long-time campaigner for Palestinian rights. I also stand here as an Iranian refugee who has been on all the protests in this country in solidarity with democracy movements in Iran. But today, I stand here to say no war on Iran. Not because I support the Iranian regime, but because I support the Iranian people. And this is a war on the Iranian people. This is what Israel's Defense Minister, Israel Katz, said in a tweet. The residents of Tehran will pay the price and soon. I say no to war because democracy cannot be delivered at the point of a gun. I reject the notion that social and political justice can be delivered by any foreign power, let alone one that is carrying out a genocide in Gaza. And let's not forget Iran's neighbours, Iraq and Afghanistan, that have been devastated by foreign powers claiming to bring democracy to those countries. I say no to war because it derails democracy movements and increases repression. Since Israel's attacks have started, the Iranian government has cut off any internet connections to the outside world and has rounded up en masse opposition writers and journalists. I say no to war because any regime change delivered by a foreign power that is backed by imperialist powers is not in the interests of the Iranian people. We haven't forgotten that the UK and US carried out a coup against the democratically elected Prime Minister of Iran in 1953. We haven't forgotten that they imposed the brutal regime of the Shah, who incidentally was toppled by the people of Iran. So why on earth do they think that we want the son of the former Shah back? Shame on Laura Pittsburgh for giving Reza Pahlavi a platform. What a topsy-turvy world we live in, where the state of Israel, a state that is not only denying people social and political freedoms, but massacring them, a state that actually has nuclear weapons and is the one attacking other countries, accuses Iran of doing so. Finally, I want to address Iranians in the crowd. However much we hate the Iranian regime, the most effective action we can take right now to help our loved ones inside Iran is to pressure the British government not to join the war on Iran and to stop arming Israel. Our struggles are intertwined with the Palestinian people's struggles now more than ever. No war on Iran, end the genocide in Gaza.
Today's demonstration. Please give a very warm welcome to Shamil Jorda.
Say it with me. No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
So I got asked today, what does that mean? What does no justice, no peace mean? It means no peace for those who commit genocide. We do not let them go in with their normal lives, because there is no normal for those in Gaza. So therefore there is no normal for those who perpetrate genocide. But no justice, no peace also means no peace for us. It also means no peace for us. How can we have peace in our hearts when we know that people in